My name is Rachel. I'm 27 years old. I tell people that I grew up in Glendale. Well, we moved here when I was 12. My father was in the Army and we moved all over the country. It seemed like as soon as we would get used to living in one place, we would move again. We did that even after my dad left the Army and started going to the VA hospital for his panic attacks. I remember having a hard time sitting still in school or feeling like I belonged anywhere. I remember looking out the window and daydreaming. I remember the teacher sending notes home with me about my trouble finishing what I started. I remember the school counselor telling me I had ADHD and that I might need to take some medication, and my mother was not very happy about that. She was overwhelmed a lot of the time with us kids, and I didn't know how to help her with my sister and brother. I guess I failed as the eldest. The eldest is supposed to help with the younger kids. I didn't like to take pills. I didn't feel good when I took them. I started having serious depression when I was 16. I either had some kind of anxiety that was so bad I wanted to leave my body, or I had no energy to do anything. I thought by joining the Army that maybe it would give me a chance to prove something. In 2007, the night before I was going to the recruitment office, I was attacked and sexually assaulted when I was walking through a park just a few blocks from home. I guess that was a sign. I didn't tell anybody about what happened for months, but I called a customer service line for public mental health. I got some information about a support group and a clinic that was about 5 miles from my and my mother's apartment. I started having these nightmares about some shadows in my bedroom as a little girl, and I started seeing shadows in my bedroom at night. I thought maybe I was seeing things. I wasn't sure if I was awake or asleep sometimes. It was like I couldn't get away from it, and so I was either really anxious or numb. That's when I started cutting my legs and arms. I cut too deep once on my left arm and wound up in the hospital. While I was there, a social worker told me about the same mental health center close to home. I didn't call the number she gave me, but one day out of the blue I just walked in and said I needed help. They made an appointment for me for about 3 weeks later, and I had what they said was an intake, and the worker asked me for some kind of medical records to get SMI, which I got about 2 months later because it took me a few weeks to get the ones together she asked for. Now I go to the clinic for counseling and another to see a case manager and a psychiatrist. I see people in front of the clinic making drug deals, and I don't feel safe sometimes. I would like to go to another clinic, but it would be hard for me to take the bus, especially in the heat. One of my medications makes me sensitive to sunlight. I would like to move to a new place. I'm working part-time, and it has really been hard to save money. My case manager is referring me to get job preparedness training with vocational rehabilitation. It's hard to get that into my schedule, and my motivation is low on my dark days. Sometimes I think about how my life would be different if I had made it into the Army.